we must have got fired on the set too.
How did you get fired?
We got fired on the set. It was just a lot going on, and just a lack of miscommunication and stuff like that.
Okay.
But we made it through. But it was a 2-day shoot, and the first day maybe was like 17 hours on set.
Wow.
And then the second day was a whole 24 hours.
That's a long day.
24 hours. So I had the opportunity to document her, like in an intimate setting, and also as she was on set.
Okay.
And I feel like the shot that I got her when she was sitting in the seashell for the video, that was like one of my favorite pieces, like one of my most iconic pieces.
Okay. All right. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm good. Scoot up to that mic just a little bit for
Okay.
me, sir. I appreciate you. So, Mr. Scrill Davis,
Yes, sir.
the world famous, Atlanta known. So first off, before we get started, we got this bottle of brown on the table, some Bacardi 10, the DS, as you called it.
Bacardi 10 DS.
Get a quick cheers.
Cheers, man.
Salute. Thank you for doing this today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Definitely. Oh, that's smooth. Okay. So, talk to me, man. So tell me a little bit about yourself, how you got started, how you got to this point in life to be sitting in this small office room in Marietta.
Well, I'm from Athens, Georgia.
Okay.
Born and raised in Athens, Georgia.
Okay.
And I first got introduced to photography in the 3rd grade.
Okay.
When I had the opportunity to take a trip to Disney World.
Got you.
And my mother had gave me a disposable camera.
Okay.
To document my journey. And,
did she give you one?
It was a couple. It was a 2-pack.
Yeah, I was like, because I was like, 24 shots wasn't a lot.
Yeah, it was a 2-pack though. So she gave me a 2-pack.
Okay.
And she gave me the camera so that I could document my journey.
Okay.
On that trip.
Got you.
And bring those memories back home so that she can live through those memories.
Okay.
Because she had never been outside of the state of Georgia.
Wow.
So.
Okay.
That was my first time being introduced to photography right there.
Okay. Dope. So what was that like when you brought that back?
I was young, but like some of the photos were okay.
Okay.
And some of them, were underexposed, but I didn't know what I was doing at that time. But I still got some pretty good shots.
Okay.
For me to be in the 3rd grade, not really knowing what I was doing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so it was those photos came out pretty good. I still got the photos at home too.
I was gonna ask, do you still have them?
Yeah, I still got them. I was actually looking at them every time I go home. I go through the drawer.
Okay.
That the photos are in, and I look at the photos.
Got you.
Yeah.
So what? So 3rd grade. Now, did you take a hiatus or did you keep buying cameras?
No, it was more so of me not really knowing that was my passion at the time, but I knew that was something that I was intrigued with and that I gravitated towards once she put that on me right there.
Okay.
But like years down the line, as I grew older, I had the opportunity to purchase a little digital camera.
Okay. What was that?
I don't even know the name of the camera. It was like a little Kodak digital camera.
Got you.
I could record videos on it and take pretty cool photos that I thought were cool anyways at the time. So with that camera, I would be the one documenting me and my friends as we like.
You're always the cameraman.
Yeah. I was always documenting me and my friends as we were like going to parties or outings and stuff like that.
Got you.
I would be doing photos and videos, and
so that was
that was just something that I was interested in doing. So we always had stuff like that going on, and I was always the man behind the camera doing it.
Now, do you feel like that the camera lends to your personality, or how's that? Or being a cameraman, do you feel like that lends to your personality?
I mean, I ain't gonna say. I think it's a part of my personality because it's something I love doing. So
Yeah, because I mean,
Yeah.
so we've text back and forth. We've never actually met. So
Yeah.
today, we've met for like half an hour now.
Yeah.
We're pretty mild mannered. So as
Yeah.
you talk about the story, you being the one documenting, I'm like, all right, that kind of makes sense. From the little bit that I know of you. So
Yeah.
I was wondering, does that lend to the personality? Because there's a lot of introverts in photography.
Yeah, I think I'm an introvert. Though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, I'll talk if I know you, but like.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just the largest one in the room or anything like that.
Got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do feel like that, so that's a little bit like me. So now you got that Kodak, you got that camera, you documenting your friends. What led you to come to Atlanta?
Well, what led me to come to Atlanta is initially after high school,
mm-hmm.
I thought I was gonna do something in the medical field because like growing up for me, coming just from my walk of life, I was never taught that being an artist was a thing to
career.
Do. Yeah, you always heard of starving artists and things like that, but I initially wanted to go to school for something in the medical field because I knew that you will always need that in your life. Like that's never going out of business, or it's always a way to make money in that. So I was like, I'm gonna do this right here. I'm gonna go to school and major in respiratory therapy. Okay. So I had the opportunity to go to this school called Gordon College. Mm-hmm. They didn't have the respiratory therapy program, but they had the prerequisites that I could take and then transfer to like Georgia State. Okay. And get into that program. But I was like, once I went out to school for those 2 years, I was like, this isn't something I really want to do like that. So I took some time off and I did my research on what it was that I was really truly passionate about. Okay. And one day I came to, my senses like this is something that I really enjoy doing. I got you. Which was visual arts, documenting stuff, just doing things with the camera. I did my research and I found schools that offered mass media programs. And some of the schools were the University of Georgia. Okay. Georgia State, Clark Atlanta, and Valdosta State. Gotcha. But I didn't want to go back home to, Athens, even though University of Georgia had the #1 program in the state of Georgia. I just didn't want to go back home. I got you. I was always the type of person that I wanted to get away. I got you. I wanted to get away from home as far as I could. Okay. I would have went to Cali if I could have afforded it, but got you. I didn't. So you stayed in the state. Yeah, I stayed in the state. So that brought you to Atlanta. Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about that. Go ahead. I'm listening. So I had did my research on UGA. Mm-hmm. They were #1 in the state of Georgia. Clark Atlanta, they had a great program, and it was a HBCU, but I didn't have the funds, and my mom, she didn't have the funds to get me there. So I was like, I'm gonna take a look into Valdosta State. I took a visit down there. It was a beautiful campus. Mm-hmm. They had the second best program in the state of Georgia for mass media. Okay. And I was hooked on that once I took the visit. And it was 4 hours away from home. It was between the Georgia and Florida borderline, so I could have easily drove to the beach if I wanted to. Got you. So I was like, I think this is gonna be my choice right here. So I went to Valdosta State, majored in mass media, got my bachelor's of fine arts in mass media. Okay. And then from there, once I graduated from college, I stayed in Valdosta for like an extra semester just to, just kind of apply for jobs and make a little bit more money. I was working at the time down there. Mm-hmm. So I was applying for jobs, but nobody would hire me. So I had hit one of my best friends up, asking him if I could just move to the A, crash on the couch like that. Okay. And I knew that I had a passion for photography. Mm-hmm. And cinematography. Okay. So initially when I was in school, my main concentration was cinematography and videography, but photography was something that I took a liking into more. Okay. That's why I really I geared my career towards photography, but I was like, I'm gonna take what I learned in school and use it as a freelancer. Okay. Once I moved to Atlanta because nobody would hire me, so that's what I did. I moved to the A. And from there, no job, maybe like $3,000 to my name. Gotcha. I came up and crashed on the couch at my friend's crib, and I was like, I gotta make it shake. I had purchased this DSLR camera in undergrad, and I was saying like, I'm passionate about it. I love doing it. It's not solely based on money, but you know, the passion to bring money at the end of the day. So I mastered the camera, and I was trying any and everything, you know, just trying to find my lane up here, but you know, doing free shoots and all that. But once I did it, you know, once I got, you know, my stuff down pat, clientele started coming in.
The rest is history.
Yeah, so
I got you. So, you remember that camera that you bought? We always kind of go over, you know, people's history as far as like where they went. Because I know you said you got your DSLR in undergrad. Like, where'd you go with that?
It was a Canon T3i. Yeah, the Canon T3i.
Man, we've talked to Fred. Everybody we interview that shoots Canon, they started either on the T2 like me, or they start the T3. So
yeah, there was a T3i.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long did you have that one before you finally had to upgrade?
I had that maybe like 3 years before I upgraded. My next camera after that was maybe 2 years after that I upgraded. So it was a Canon T3i, and then I got the 6D. It wasn't the 6D Mark II yet.
Yeah,
they hadn't made those. They hadn't made those yet. So that was a full frame camera right there. The 6D was a full frame body style camera. Because I knew I wanted to go full frame, because with the T3i I have a crop sensor, and then working with the full frames I could navigate and push my stuff in low light.
Yeah.
But with those crop body cameras I couldn't do that, so I was like, I want to upgrade to this 6D, even though it wasn't like a 5D Mark II or Mark III yet. Yeah. I was still like, it was a great camera. Yeah.
It's funny because I kind of followed the same path. I did a T2, and then I remember doing this art show. It was kind of like it wasn't the Apache. It was down there on Englewood or Edgewood. Down on Edgewood, there's like I think it's like church now or something like that. But there's a space above, and they're doing like a body art show. And I was there, and I finally gotten like my settings down. And this is like 3-4 years later.
Yeah.
And I'm in there, and I'm trying to shoot, and I'm just like, man, this thing is not doing what I need. Like, it can't focus. It's trying to find a face.
Nah.
I had to wait for like the stage light to hit somebody's face to get focused, and then I would shoot, and I was just like, okay, it's not me anymore.
It's the camera. Yeah.
So that I always tell people that I'm like, man, hold on to the camera as long as possible until you know it's no longer you. It's the camera that you need to upgrade. So,
for real.
So yeah, you went to the 6D, and then you kind of just so now what are you shooting with that?
After the 6D. You saying what am I shooting?
Yeah,
with
like
6D?
I know you saying you kind of started out shooing everything.
Yeah.
What were some of those early shoots that you were doing? Like,
I was doing like weddings, maternity shoots. I was still heavy on my portraiture work too. Okay. Doing portraiture work, test shoots. Gotcha. Really just trying to get my name out here in Atlanta. So yeah, I was doing free stuff just to tap in with people. You know, just to show them that I could do great work. Yeah. I was doing that. And even like some headshots, like realtor headshots and stuff like that.
So what was that first big shoot that you did that you were like, man, I think I could focus on just this one part of it?
First big shoot?
Yeah, what was that one that you were like, you're no longer the free photographer? When did you get to that
one? I mean, the first big shoot.
Or one of the early big shoots, maybe not the first one. But like, what was one that sticks out to you and you're like, yeah, that was when I was like, I could do this?
That's a good question.
Okay.
But I guess maybe for like, it's tough, man. I don't have a couple. I'm trying to think about that.
You good?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
So you're getting into your portraiture. You're doing more of that. Like, are you getting any? So I always kind of ask this also. So you touched on something a couple seconds ago about like doing free shoots.
Yeah.
And sometimes people frown on doing free work. I know coming up, I had to do a lot of free shoots. Yeah. Do you suggest that to people, or like up and coming photographers, or even established photographers looking to change? Like, what's your take on that?
I mean, I don't see, it has to be beneficial for both parties at the end of the day if you're doing free shoots.
Okay.
Or if it's something that, if it's a lane that you're trying to tap into and you want more jobs for it, you have to do free work in order to, really navigate that lane or really get into that lane. So for me, I knew that I wanted to get into fashion photography, so I would do free work in that world, like come up with my own ideas, my own shoots, my own team, select the models that I wanted.
Okay.
And then, you know, it would be a free shoot, but it would be dope work that it was work that I was creating in order to get into that lane that I wanted to get into with photography. Okay. So that's the type of free work I would do right there.
Got you. How did you find your models early on?
Instagram, bro. Instagram. And really just, you know, wanting that unique look for real. You know, because just wanting that unique look.
Okay.
Instagram.
Yeah, I've done a lot of DM, blind DM and hoping somebody responds.
That's what I used to do though. I used to DM people a lot, all the time. Man.
It's crazy, man. Like some of my biggest shoots were like that. Like I DM somebody and a year and a half later, they're like, "Hey, I'm gonna be in Atlanta. I saw that you messaged me. You wanted to work." And I'm like, "Okay, well, let's figure something out." Do you still take that on, or how's your jobs coming on now?
You mean as
far as like test shoots or anything like that? Are you still doing those?
Oh yeah, I still do a test shoot.
Okay.
Yeah, like.
So how do you select your team and kind of build that concept around that?
As far as selecting the team, like I said, it's something that I feel like we should all be able to benefit from. So if it's a stylist that if I feel like they can get the look that I can't get, or you know they have to get that particular look that can take us to the next level, or even like makeup artists and models. You know, like it's cool to have a beautiful face, but like models are so much more than that. So you gotta have the movement. You know, it's just the whole aura about yourself.
Yeah. So, I spoiled myself the first time when I first started. I only shot models because that art show I told you about. Like I met with one of the models, Ivana, and we would shoot, and she would just do her thing. And I was like, okay, cool, easy. And then I started getting booked to do stuff, and people were like, all right, what do I do? I'm like, I don't know. Like,
that's what I'm saying, man.
You're supposed to have your thing.
Tough. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
I'm a regular person. I don't know these things.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you found, you know, you make sure it's mutually beneficial. Your stylists and things like that. Do you have like, so when you're coming up with your concepts, how do you kind of go about that? Do you mood board? Do you Pinterest? Like what is your source right now?
I find inspiration from Pinterest and you know, just by traveling, I kind of find inspiration too. But more so, you know, just doing my research on Pinterest.
Okay.
Seeing what types of. I mean, I go based off of fashion, really. Like, I'm into like the fashion thing, and you know, just certain moods or you know, like textures and clothing and stuff like that. So it just depends on the season or like what we're shooting at. But most of the time, it's Pinterest.
Okay.
But I find inspiration on Pinterest based off of like clothing and you know, like makeup and you know, stuff like that.
Okay, I got you. Did you think of your shoot yet? The one that kind of took you there?
I ain't gonna really say it's no shoot though. You know what I'm telling you, it is like I did an exhibit, bro. It was an exhibit I did in 2019 that I feel like helped push my career to new heights. Okay. So that exhibit, the exhibit was called Modern Day Supermodels. Okay. And it was pretty much to take black women that were everyday women that weren't really models, and you know, express themselves through fashion, and you know, just kind of tell their stories and photograph them as if they were models. Okay. And I would work with designers from SCAD, and you know, like local designers from SCAD, and then some of my friends that were into like styling, and makeup art and stuff like that.
Like that's how.
But
so was that kind of so you did that was all that work? It was just that body of work, or was
it was that body of work that really took me to the next level.
Okay. Gotcha. But, did that get like a lot of fanfare?
I gained a lot of traction from that. Right, it was a pretty nice exhibit, like a big exhibit too. And I was working on that exhibit maybe for like a year. I took like a year.
We gonna let the
damn dirt bites, ain't they?
Like I'm back in Florida. All right, so tell me more about that exhibit. You were saying like the exhibit kind of took you over the top.
Yeah. So with that exhibit, I took like I said, everyday black women that weren't models, and I dressed them up as if they were models, and you know, just kind of had them tell their story. You know, like some of the things that they were going through. Okay. Their story, and you know, I photographed them, and did a really, really dope exhibit with the work, and from that exhibit, I felt like I was able to gain more notoriety, and then it just kind of like made me a staple in Atlanta when it came to photography.
Nice. So where was that first exhibit?
It was at my home studio, Cam Kirk Studios.
Okay.
That's
World famous Cam Kirk Studios.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Cam, Killer Cam.
Cam, when you trying to get on?
Well, I met Cam through a great friend of mine who I consider a sister, Ariel.
Okay.
She had been working with Cam prior to me moving to Atlanta.
Gotcha.
And I was just seeing some of the things that, Cam was doing, some of the things that Cam was doing in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. And I was, I really liked what he was doing as far as the marketing that he was doing, and I enjoyed the rawness and realness of his work and how he was documenting his work. And, I told her once I graduated from college and once I relocated to Atlanta that I would be interested in working alongside Cam, just helping out if they needed help with anything like that. And, she put in the work for me. I sent over my website and stuff like that.
Okay.
And he liked the work. It was totally different from his style of work, but he knew that I could take great photos. And on the day that I moved to Atlanta, I dropped my stuff off at my friend's house that I was staying on the couch with.
Okay.
And on that very day, I dropped my stuff off. Well, I drove from Valdosta. I dropped my stuff off, and then Cam was having a program, or he was having like a class. It was called Classes with Cam.
Okay.
He was having that class right there, so I dropped my stuff off, unloaded it, unpacked,
just went straight there.
And went straight to Classes with Cam, and I met Cam that day right there.
Okay.
And she introduced us, and from that day forward, we've been locked in.
I got you.
That's how we met.
Got you.
Yeah.
So you dropped your stuff off and went straight there.
Straight there.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I was eager. I was eager to learn.
Yeah, man. I think there are a lot of people. I don't know if it's. I don't want to sound like an old head, but I think a lot of people don't really. They're not really looking to learn. Like they kind of want to get. They want to get to the end of the journey. They don't really want to take the steps.
The process is a beautiful thing, man.
I think that's something I struggle with too. Is like feeling like I should be further along, but also trying to remember, like just taking your time.
You gotta take your time, bro. Like sometimes I be like, can I cuss on here?
Yeah.
I just be like, damn, like I missed the times when I was just grinding just to make these shoots happen. Like like I was like really getting it out the mud, just like planning shoots, staying up all night, just making sure my ideas were being executed and stuff like that.
Are you not there anymore?
I'm still there, but like I ain't gonna say I'm not as hungry as I am as I once were. But like when I was moving up here, I was pretty much depending on my livelihood. I had to make it happen. I had to make it shake. So and
if you didn't kill, you didn't eat.
Yeah, you eat what you kill. Yeah. So that's how it was for me. But now I'm still hungry though. I'm still planning shoots every day. Okay. Still, I still, I'm a big fan of investing in my business and my brand. Okay. When it comes to doing stuff that I feel like is beneficial for the brand, or doing things that really take that brand to the next level in the direction that I wanted to go in. So, just like when I take these trips to New York, or like when I travel for work. Yeah. I travel to do like test shoots and tap in with people in those particular areas. I got you. So that I can really plant my seeds there. Okay. And oftentimes a lot of the people in those, like it's different with the models. Each model in each region has their own style of look. So I go to New York for a certain look, I go to LA for a certain look, and I'm in Atlanta for a certain look. So when I take these trips to New York and LA, it's for a specific reason. It's not just to be playing around out there, but it's for me to go out there and kind of like plant my seed. And I'm doing it out, like out of my own pocket. Nobody ain't paying me to do it, but I still love photography that much, and I want to really tap into that, into that style of photography. I want to plant my flag in the ground in that lane right there, that I'm willing to still put the bread up behind myself, just to go out there and shoot free shit. You feel me?
It was hard to get you on here, man.
I know.
I was trying to get it arranged for a little bit now.
I know.
I was like, oh man, this man's moving.
I know, bro. But
yeah, you getting busy? Is it like busy season right now?
nah, it's busy. But I travel a lot, but I haven't really been traveling as much this year
Okay.
as last year. But I still travel though. But
Got you.
yeah, I'm about to tap back into it though.
Okay. So I know we've been sipping a little bit on the Bacardi. What is the Bacardi DS?
Yeah, that's a Bacardi 10 right there.
Bacardi 10. So
Bacardi
it's very
DS.
smooth, a little smoky.
Yeah,
Got
for
a
sure.
little flavor to it. I
Yeah.
like it. Good suggestion.
Yeah.
How did you get involved with Bacardi, and how did that relationship start? Because I was on Instagram and I saw a Bacardi post, and I was like, man, that's Scrill. How did this happen?
Yeah, shout out to my partners over at Bacardi. They're great people.
Okay.
I love the whole Bacardi team.
Gotcha.
There's nothing but mad love there.
Yeah.
But really, my lawyer, who I met through camp, which is J Rose, he's my frat brother.
Okay.
As well. But he kind of like put that relationship together with Bacardi and I. So
Gotcha.
he had a relationship with them, and I did something with him once, but it was pretty much like a couple of. It wasn't the partnership that I did with them one time. It wasn't to this extent that I'm doing it now. But you know,
It kind of started.
yeah, it started out slow, and after that had happened, maybe a year passed by.
Okay.
And he spoke with one of the people over at Bacardi.
Okay.
And he just asked her, he was just discussing business with her. And he was, pitching me to her, saying that, like he feel like that I would be a great fit for the brand. And they took a liking to, me as a brand and, as a whole. So, it took a minute for the deal to close, but once it closed and, we started becoming partners,
Okay.
it was really up.
Up from there?
Yeah, it was up from there.
Got you. So I think you were the first. You talked about the deal closing. So I want to touch on the Cam signing.
Yeah.
So I had never heard of a photographer signing to a label.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's genius.
That was fire.
How did that come about? Like, what was the behind the scenes behind that? Like, how's that relation? How's that like been? Being signed and stuff like that. It's
been dope, man.
Okay.
It's super fire.
Yeah.
It's fam, but it's family.
Okay.
They make sure the artist is good.
So do they handle like some of the production side?
Yeah.
How's that work?
They handle the production, the legal work, the logistics of it. Like they make sure the contracts are in order. Like I said, I got lawyers over there, so like when big brands come in, they make sure that the paperwork is on point and that we're getting a fair. Like they're not trying to screw us over. It's a mutual thing. Making sure that the artists are well taken care of.
Okay.
But now it's fire though, and certain rooms you can't get into, they kind of put you in those rooms too. So
got you.
Now it's fire.
Yeah, I just never heard of the concept, and so when it happened, and I saw the signing happen, I think it was on Cam's page, and I was just like, that's interesting, because it's like you always hear about it with like artists. You never really think of us as like in that same breath. What I mean?
I know, but like artists, photographers is just as important as the artists.
Yeah, because if they can't get that, get the visuals
we give them,
out.
we give them that image, man. Yeah. But they got to put respect on it at the end of the day.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, like they should appreciate us just as much as they appreciate everybody else around them.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's definitely dope. So were you just coming back from? Where were you just coming back from? Weren't you just like in LA or New York?
New York.
Got you.
Yeah.
How was that?
New York is cool, man. I love New York. It's one of my favorite cities in the world.
So I had this conversation with Alan the other day, Alan Cooley. We were talking about like the different looks in different spaces. So like he talks about like New York models, LA models.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you.
Yeah.
They're different.
What do you find, or like what do you think is the difference in those spaces? Without trying to get you in trouble.
I ain't trying to diss nobody, man. But I don't know. I feel like in LA, it's more of a commercial feel to it. They're more commercial driven out there. In New York, I feel like it's more fashion forward, and it's centered around fashion. And in Atlanta, I feel like we're trying to get there. We're still kicking the door down. Okay. Really trying to get more notoriety on us, and really just trying to break into that market of like modeling and stuff like that. It hasn't really hit like that yet, but it's on the way. So we just trying to we're just trying to find that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I got you.
But the models here are fire too, though. Don't get it twisted now.
All right.
But we still trying to just show the world that you got to come down here and put some respect on our name too.
I got you.
Yeah.
It's always it's been interesting for me because, you know, like as I said, I used to DM Dog and be like, hey,
Yeah.
I'd love to work with you.
Hey, trust me, man. I still do that.
It's funny now because like I do have a little bit more work behind me, so like, you know, now I can kind of put in requests without really like sounding like I'm begging.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, it's always interesting trying to like get good work because there definitely is a level to.
It's a level for sure.
Definitely a level to the artistry.
Yeah.
So I have a question. We're gonna go into a little bit of a rapid fire real quick. What are you shooting with right now?
Mamiya 7.
Okay, Mamiya.
Yeah, Mamiya 7.
What got you into Mamiya?
I mean, I bought the camera like 3 years ago.
Okay.
When I was
That's a medium format, right?
It's a medium format camera.
Okay. Gotcha.
So when I was in undergrad, after I had graduated from Valdosta State.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Valdosta.
Yeah, Valdosta State. I took a little course on how to develop and process film in the darkroom. Okay. Which was black and white film at the time. I never shot color during that time. Okay. And I was using the Pentax K1000 camera. So that's how I initially got introduced to film photography. Got you. And then when I had moved to the A, I was gonna do a project, but it was gonna be solely film based. Okay. And the shit got too expensive for me because I wasn't making no money like that in the A. Yeah, and the film is. And film is expensive. The processing and developing it and the scans are expensive. So I had put a pause on that right there. But you know, film is becoming. You know, at first it was a thing of the past, but yeah, it's coming. You know, what goes around comes around. That you know, like once some shit was old 20 years ago, it's gonna eventually come back around. So yeah. A lot of people are, you know, into the film stuff now. So I was like, let me purchase my Mamiya 7 and tap into the, you know, tap back into film photography. Okay. And a lot of clients want that type of work, so I just want to be able to show them that I'm capable to do both. Okay, so you're shooting are you doing mostly film these days, or are you doing like film and digital? Film and digital, yeah, okay. But. So what's the digigital camera that you're shooting with? A Canon EOS R5. R5? Okay. Yeah. If you could take only one lens out into the field, which would it be? You had to do a shoot. You got booked for the shoot. I always paint the story this way. You got booked for the shoot. Yeah. You're getting on a helicopter. Pilot says you only have enough weight for one camera, one lens. What are you bringing? What camera I'm bringing and what lens? Yep. Well, R5. Well, what lens are you bringing with that? The Canon 35mm 1.4 the second version. Got you. I used to be a big Sigma 35mm lens guy, but I'm not really big on them anymore because those lenses lose focus. Like the focus be off sometimes. But I used to live and die by Sigma, but not anymore though. I'm not touching that, but yeah. Yeah, I stopped by the booth in January. I was like, my 24-70, I'm having some issues with focus. So I need you to take a look at this. But I've gone back to the native Canon glass, only Canon. Gotta do that. But yes, okay. So 35, you're gonna do a prime, huh? Yeah, I love the primes. I don't like zoom lenses like that. Really? I think primes are sharper. So I'll give you, they are sharper. I like the flexibility of. I feel you. I just like to be able to reformat it real quick. I feel you. I just feel like the primes, it make you a better photographer. You're not just lazy. Yeah, you gotta move around. You gotta get in there. Yeah. Change your angles. Okay, yeah. I got you. So one lens. Okay, so we went with the 35 Mark II. The RF or the. Did they make the RF? Nah, they ain't make no RF. They got an RF, but it's not a Mark II. It's a 35mm macro. Yeah, it's 1.8. 1.8. No, yeah. We're talking proper lenses. Sorry. Yeah. 1 second. So if you could do a photo shoot with any one photographer, who would it be? Any one photographer? Yep. Somebody you could either have worked with, want to work with. Who would that be? That would photograph me? Oh. You're just working with them. Like they called you like, hey, I want to have you come out and be on set with me. Who would that photographer be? Stephen Mizell. Okay, got you. Why'd you pick him right out the gate? I mean, it's a couple that I like, that I love. Actually, I got you, but you went with that. Yeah, so. Stephen Mizell. I love his style of work. Like, okay, I love his style of work. I love the way he likes his subjects. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's just something about his work that like
kinda
gravitates me, or like
Okay.
just brings me in.
Got you.
Yeah.
All right, cool. What is the best piece of kit that you bought in the last year?
Best piece of kit.
Doesn't have to be a camera, doesn't have to be a lens, could be a C-stand that you really love. What's the best piece of gear that you bought in the last year?
I ain't bought no getting last year.
You have not gotten anything in the last year? I don't believe that.
I haven't, bro.
As much stuff as we buy?
I don't really buy a gear like that no more, for real, man.
Okay. You're more minimal these days?
Yeah, I gotta be making a lot of bread, and I gotta be really needing it. But I feel like I done built my kit up.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Okay. So what's so I always ask this, like, what does photography mean to you, and how would you define it to somebody else?
What does it mean to me? It's a way to express yourself through imagery. That's what it means to me. Just expressing yourself through imagery.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Do you feel like it changed your life?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
It changed my life. I don't know what I would be doing.
Yeah. Is this the only job you've had? Because I know you said you were working in Valdosta, but
this is not the only job I
it's
had.
like the main career.
You talking about like just in my life, or?
Yeah, well, I mean, I know you probably did things in college and things like that.
Yeah.
Like, since you left college, has this been the only thing that you've done, or?
Nah, I did valet. I was
Okay.
working valet. I was making pretty good money, and then I was running the studio, Camcurt Studios. I used to manage that studio too.
Got you.
Yeah, but
we ever crossed paths. I've only been up there like twice though.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Okay. And next thing, so you didn't dodge it, but you couldn't think of one. But what's the favorite photo you've taken, and why?
My favorite photo I've taken? I don't have one particular photo, but I have a couple different
What's the
photos.
first one that comes to your mind?
You talking about like a photo that?
Yeah, just something you've taken. Anything that was like the moment behind it was crazy, or you didn't think it was gonna happen, and it finally came through, and so there's like a story behind it that maybe most people wouldn't know about.
A fire photo that I would say I took was a photo of Cardi B.
Okay.
And it's not even because of it's not even because of the person she is.
Mm-hmm.
It's more so like the story behind it.
What was the story behind it? Can you tell that?
Yeah. So when I first signed to Collective Gallery,
mm-hmm.
The first big project that I got put on was I had the opportunity to fly to LA with my friend Antoine and I,
mm-hmm.
and do some work with Cardi B.
Okay.
And we was out there for a couple of weeks with Cardi. She was working on, the Up song that she had. Mm-hmm. She was, doing the, we was in choreography with her when she was practicing, for the visual. So we was out there with her for 2 weeks, and we just had an opportunity to document her and stuff like that. But we really never had the opportunity to be a part of a set that big right there before. Okay. So I feel like that was the toughest job I ever had the opportunity to do. Gotcha. Like one of the hardest jobs I've been on, the hardest sets I've been on.
Okay.
And then we must have got fired on the set too.
How did you get fired?
We got fired on the set. It was just a lot going on, and just a lack of miscommunication and stuff like that. But we made it through. But it was a 2-day shoot, mm-hmm. and the first day maybe it was like 17 hours on set.
Wow. And
then the second day was a whole 24 hours.
That's a long day.
24 hours. So I had the opportunity to document her, mm-hmm. Like in an intimate setting, and also as she was on set.
Okay.
And I feel like the shot that I got her when she was sitting in the seashell, mm-hmm. for the video, that was like one of my favorite pieces, like one of my most iconic pieces.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have to make sure you send that to us so we can put it in the video here.
Nah, I got you. But that was a tough job though, bro. That was like the toughest job. It almost felt like I was online again, pledging.
Man, he took you back to the days. But
that was a tough job, bro.
I got you. All right, so we always kind of segue from the best photo to what is that cringe photo shoot that you've been on where it was like, so always paint the picture. You went to the shoot, flash ain't working, Your batteries aren't charged. Somebody falls on set. What's that shoot that just everything went wrong and what happened?
This was recently actually.
Okay.
The brand didn't know it though. The people
Okay.
that I was shooting for didn't know it, but
We'll keep them.
yeah. So I rented some equipment, and with the equipment, the people that I rented it from,
Okay.
they didn't put the trigger in the bag.
Oh.
So, we were in Alpharetta somewhere, and the rental house was downtown in Atlanta. It was about 4 o'clock, and nobody's coming back downtown. This is a big company now. Nobody's coming back downtown in the heart of 4 to 5 o'clock traffic to get a trigger.
Yeah.
So I always keep a light in my car, regardless. So I got a light on me, but I prefer using those particular lights because, I just like their lights more. Pro Photo lights. Yeah, Pro Photo lights. And
they didn't have a trigger in the case.
They didn't have a trigger. So I had to use my light. I had the Pro Photo lights. So I would slave those lights to the light that I had with the trigger. And the battery was almost dead on that particular light that I had to use for that shoot. So every time I shot something, I had to turn the light off on the camera just to save the battery. It was on 1 bar left. Man. And I had to shoot like 30 people, bro. So that was so crazy. But luckily we made it through. But every time I would take a couple shots, I would turn it off immediately just so that the battery wouldn't die. And I didn't want to look bad in front of the people. You can't look bad in front of a big company like that. So it was something like that.
Mine, I've had that happen where it was a same thing. Forgot a trigger, but it was in my early days, and my light had a slave, but I had the trigger for the flash. I didn't have the trigger for that other light, so I just put a speed light and an umbrella right next to the other flash, and just like just triggered it that way.
That's good.
It worked, but it was definitely rigging. And Fred always laughs at me because I got too much stuff in the car. But that's why, because I'll go into a situation. Go ahead, re-up.
Yeah.
I'll go into a situation where I am just have way too much stuff, and I'm just like, well, I never know what's gonna happen. All right, so last few questions. What is a quote or mantra that you live by when it comes to like your art, your work, your life? Like, what are you living by?
What I live by.
Like, what's a quote or like a saying that you say often?
It is what it is. Shit. That's what I say often. It is what it is. Or
okay.
What else I say? What I live by.
Yeah.
Trying to think, bro.
So I go by one where I have one in my life where I say everything is temporary, and so that kind of keeps me in a position where I'm like, try not to get too high or too low.
Yeah.
Because like when it's slow, you be like, okay.
Nah, it is temporary for sure.
Just kind of go from there. Everybody's seasonal. Everything's
temporary. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I mean, I don't want to make it seem like that's just how I view life, but that's something I say. Like I try not to get too caught up in like expectations and stuff like that. So I just be like, it's life. It's written already, so it's written.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
What's your vision for like the next 2 years? Like, where do you see yourself? Like as far as projects go, like where would you like to be in the next 2 years?
My vision. Really, I want to do more commercial projects, bigger campaigns, more global campaigns. Also, just establishing my brand, tapping into a product.
Okay.
More partnerships like the one that I had with Bacardi.
Okay.
Really, introducing the world to my taste making skills when it comes to cocktails and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, with the Bacardi thing. I have a cocktail show. Okay. And with that show, it's pretty much me taking my experiences on my traveling journeys and incorporating some of the things from those journeys into a cocktail and create my signature cocktails based off of those countries.
Gotcha.
So I want to, really tap into that more right there.
Okay.
And
that's dope.
like I said, product and just maybe down the line, maybe some type of jewelry, something like that.
Okay.
A unique style of jewelry.
I got you. We won't say too much. We're gonna try to put some show notes on this.
Yeah.
Okay. So last two I have. I'll go that way. So when you think back on your life and you've come to this point in life, big name, big Scrill,
I appreciate it, bro.
That's where we're going. What would you say to yourself coming up, or a younger photographer that's looking at you and being like, okay, I want to get there? Like, what advice would you give them?
The advice I would give a young photographer or an aspiring photographer that's looking to, do the things that I'm doing or just doing things better than me is, you gotta really study the craft. You gotta be hungry for it. You can't really do it. You can jump into it, but you can't do it based off of money though, because like at the end of the day, passion and the passion outweighs money. You gotta be hungry for it.
Yeah.
You gotta really take the time out to really learn the craft, and then once you learn the craft, you can draw outside the lines. But if you're looking to do it to get associated with certain things and certain people, I wouldn't suggest you do that.
Yeah.
But if you truly love the craft that you're doing and you're a student of the game and just studying people that came before you as well,
gotcha,
it'll take you a long way. And then your passion to bring you money and notoriety and stuff like that. But
gotcha,
if you're doing it just to be associated, then I don't suggest you do it. Or
just for the name.
If you just think it's a cool thing to do. I mean, if you want to do it for a hobby, but if you're trying to make it a career, I wouldn't do that. But just studying it and just being, never losing that hunger.
I got you.
When it comes to photography, and
that's like anything in life.
Yeah, anything. Never get too comfortable, and always keep that humility too. Like no matter how big I get, I'ma still act the same. I'ma still show love to the same people I've been showing love to. Like whether they cool people or they so-called lame people, I show love to everybody. So just always treating people right and doing right by people. So
I feel like that's almost a southern thing too, because like I find like a lot of I've heard that a lot since I've been here. Just like treating people.
Now you gotta do people right, man. Yeah. For real, or it's gonna come back on you. Well, I ain't gonna say it's gonna come back on you, but like
you always want to put that good energy.
Yeah, you gotta put that good energy into the world, man.
I understand.
Where you from though? You say?
So I grew up in South Florida, but I moved to Atlanta in 2006.
Okay.
And so I always say South Florida isn't really the South. It kind of is like, I always call it North Cuba, North Miami, but it just really depends on where you are. But I always felt like when I was in Georgia, it was a different, or at least Atlanta, like it's always been a different feeling and vibe to the space. So that's why I came and stayed.
Okay.
So yeah, that's kind of been where I've been at. So it's been good to me. I've been enjoying the journey and getting into rooms that I didn't think I would get into. So
yeah, it's dope, bro.
Yeah, man.
Blessed, man.
I appreciate it, man. I'm trying. Last question I have, and we always kind of end with this. So, who is the next person that we should have on the show? With the caveat being, you got to help us get him on.
Cam Kirk, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you got his number. You text him for me, Cam. We've been trying to get you a couple times. I sent you a DM. Hit me up, and we'll get you on the show. We'll probably make you season 2, and we'll make you the finale of season 2.
Yeah, they want you on the show, Cam.
Come on, Cam. All right, sir. It's been a pleasure.
Cheers,
That's it,
bro.
I appreciate you. I told you it wasn't gonna take too long.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for having me.
That is another episode of Photalk Podcast. Peace.